for designing and building latrines in poor communities.
From all faces. The report.
My father was very fond of me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Can I ask procedurally, should we directly notify them? Will there be time for that, or just because with the committee announcement?
That's the meeting, you plan on doing that next Monday at the same time?
I mean, if possible, but if not,
Yeah, just give them, there's no legal requirement for a notice. This is just giving them notice that this is something going on in their neighborhood. So however that's done, whether it's Councilmember Jones, the second ward council member, you could contact them.
I can spread the word. Or
Well, keep in mind, it's a split meeting also. You're on site, so you might want to 5:30 there, 6:30 here, or however long you think it'll take on site.
this is my first vacation, so how long do meetings like that typically take?
Give you the attorney answer, it depends.
I'm just wondering logistically if it would just make more sense. I know we have to wrap up, but I'm wondering logistically it would make more sense. I hate to have you have two meetings,
So I was kind of wondering the
Yeah.
same thing, if maybe we have,
especially if others within the neighborhood are
yeah, I
planning
think
to
that's a good idea.
attend.
So why don't we hold off for that one?
Could we possibly just have that meeting before our next scheduled meeting? Maybe like we start at 6:30. That way if anyone from the public wants to come and talk
For the lights?
or 6:15, yeah, for the lights.
I think that's a good idea.
I have no problem with
That
that.
gives us more time to notify them too if we want.
So I have 2 meetings.
Okay. So you'll make that announcement at the end of the meeting. Okay, thank you. All right, so we will adjourn committee of the whole, and I will call to order the Tiffin City Council meeting of Monday, August 7th, 2023 to order. The invocation and pledge of allegiance will be led by Councilmember Spar.
thank you. Dear Lord, accept our thanks for this day and all its blessings. Guide and direct this council, its leaders, and its actions. Grant that each of us may feel our responsibility to each other, to our community, and to our country. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and I'll ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Councilmember Spar.
Here.
Councilmember Thacker. Here. Councilmember Wilkins. Here. Councilmember Mansour.
Here.
Councilmember Jones. Present. Councilmember Perry.
Present.
And Councilmember Reesner.
Here.
Let the record show all 7 members of council are present. Minutes from July 17th, 2023, regular and committee of the whole meetings, and July 19th, special council city meetings were distributed. Are there any questions, corrections, deletions? All right, seeing none, the minutes will stand approved as presented. We are now under petitions. There are 3 petitions this evening. Petition number 2023-01 by Heidelberg University to vacate a street Walker in the first ward of the city of Tiffin, Ohio, being a 60-foot wide street running east-west between lots number 552-554 on the north and lots number 560 to 562 on the south, all in Walker's addition. This will be referred to the Street Sidewalks and Sewers Committee. Petition number 2023-02, by Heidelberg University to vacate an alley in the first ward of the city of Tiffin, Ohio, being a 16.5-foot wide alley running north to south between lots number 521 through 554 on the west and lots 520 through 555 on the east, all in Walker's addition. This will also be referred to Street Sidewalks and Sewers Committee. And petition number 2023-03 by Heidelberg University, alley vacation in the first ward of the city of Tiffin, Ohio for a 16.5-foot wide alley running east to west between lots number 521 to 523 on the north and lots 552 to 554 on the south, all in Walker's addition. This will also be referred to Street Sidewalks and Sewers Committee. We are now under committee reports. Finance Committee, Councilmember Reesner.
No report, Madam President.
Thank you. Law and Community Planning, Councilmember Mansour.
No report, Madam President.
Thank you. Materials and Equipment, Councilmember Jones.
No report at this time, Madam President.
Thank you. Personnel and Labor Relations, Councilmember Perry.
No report, Madam President.
Thank you. Recreation and Public Property, Councilmember Wilkins.
No report, Madam President.
Street Sidewalks and Sewers, Councilmember Thacker.
No report, Madam President.
Thank you. And Economic Development and Downtown Planning, Councilmember Spar.
No report, Madam President.
Thank you. We're now under Committee of the Whole. Does anyone see the need to schedule a Committee of the Whole meeting? Okay, we are now under reports of the officers. Her Honor, Mayor Dawn Yanatuno.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. I have no official presentations tonight, yay. But do have some upcoming dates and information to share with you. Upcoming events before our next meeting, please remember to go out and vote tomorrow, August 8th. Since it is a special election, you may want to verify your voting locations. The new educator breakfast is this Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. It will be held at Heidelberg University this year. The annual Dog Days of Summer event at Hedges Boyer Pool will take place on the 15th and 16th. The third Thursday event this month is on the 17th with the Taste of Tiffin starting at 5 p.m. Directly after that, at 7 p.m. is the Band Bash with local area schools playing, such as Tiffin City Schools, Heidelberg University, Tiffin University, and New Regal Schools. Sunday, August 20th, will be the annual Around the Town for Tiffin University and Heidelberg University students starting on Madison Street. This event introduces students to downtown and various organizations available to them while here in Tiffin. Other news, I would like to encourage everyone to check out the South River Road Trail with the wonderful recently completed overlook into the river. However, watch out for duck poo everywhere. It's everywhere. There's a lot of ducks down there. Update on the Ella Street Bridge. The concrete foundations are in. Be prepared for some delays or detours from the 15th to the 17th as 15 100-foot beams are being brought into town to be installed on the bridge. And there'll be temporary closures at the following intersections: Tuesday on the 15th, from 8 to 2 at South Sandusky Street at Ella, on Wednesday, the 16th, from 8 to 2 on Sycamore and Ella. And I know school starts the 17th, but they're aware of that, and they're making exceptions for that, but Ella Street and Sycamore will be closed from 8 to 2 at various times that time also. So again, as I keep telling everyone, be patient. Things are clearing up around town. So that's going along well. The East Perry Street stuff is all going very well also. At our next meeting on the 21st, Chief Pauly will be with us to hand out special service awards. While he is here, the Kiwanis Club of Seneca County will be back for a special presentation to the chief for funds collected for the K-9 officer. You may want to wear your official K-9 shirts that night. We're quite excited. They're actually shopping for a dog tomorrow. And so we will find out about that. And so that concludes my report.
Any questions from the mayor? What are they naming the dog?
Don't know that yet either, but I've been sworn, I begged for a picture, so they're going to send me a picture, and I said I wouldn't share it with anybody, but I want to see it. So I can't say,
Okay.
but I don't know, that'll depend on what dog they pick, might already have a name.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Clerk of Council Ann Forrest.
No report, Madam President.
Thank you. Director of Finance Kathy Kaufman.
No report, Madam President.
And Director of Law Brent T. Howard.
Yes, thank you. Just one item. I wanted to give you an update on the sale of the Eagle Rock property that you approved last month. The closing is tentatively scheduled for the 18th of this month. So I'll give you a full report, but everything is going as planned. The purchaser and their counsel are very easy to work with, and we hope, as I said, to get this closed. That means the sale of Lot 3 and the granting of the option on Lot 2 on the 18th. And then I understand that they want to get started with construction thereafter. They also will be purchasing the spec building, which is privately owned by Development Solutions. But I hope to give a little more detail at the next meeting about the timetable of their plans. So things are moving forward.
Thank you.
That concludes my report.
Questions for the Law Director? Yes, Councilmember Perry.
I just one question. Didn't know if there's any update on the project down here at the old Cures building with the.
Nothing in my world necessarily, other than, as you know, the Fire Rescue Division wants to use the building for training purposes. And so the developer, the owner, and I worked, their representative worked on a proper release and insurance for the activities there. But other than that, I'm not aware of any other activities or timetable.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. We are now under written communications.
We have mayor's request for legislation, number 23-36, 2024 OPWC Sewer Rehabilitation Program.
Mayor's request for legislation number 23-36 will be referred to Street, Sidewalks, and Sewers Committee.
Mayor's request for legislation, number 23-37, legislation to approve annual sewer rate increase.
Mayor's request for legislation number 23-37 will also be referred to Street, Sidewalks, and Sewers Committee.
And Finance Director's request for legislation, number F2324, to amend the 2023 Budget Ordinance 22-108 in order to appropriate funds in the budget for the CHIP program.
Finance Director's request for legislation number F23-24 has been prepared for tonight as ordinance 23-50.
That concludes the written communications.
Thank you. We are now under oral communications. Anyone wishing to address council may step to the podium, sign in, and direct their questions to myself.
Madam President. I would just like to address council to introduce myself again. I'm Eileen Stanek, Regional Director Advisory Services for Meter Public Funds. There is on the agenda today legislation being introduced to bring us into the fold with the city and to work with the city's finance director as well as the city as a whole. Just as a brief overview, Meter Public Funds has been serving public entities for over 30 years. We currently have over 350 public entity clients that we very proudly help in the same manner that we would propose helping the city. And our help would encompass developing a customized investment program that would meet the needs of the city and take into consideration Ohio Revised Code provisions, as well as the city's investment policy and any cash flow considerations that need to be taken into consideration. And I will just wrap that up by saying I would be very pleased to be able to be working with the city, having had the pleasure of working with public entities for 20 years.
Thank you very
Thank
much. Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address council this evening? Thank you. We are now under motions. Councilmember Reesner.
I move to amend 23-42, deleting the declaring emergency title in the title.
Thank you. There is a motion to amend ordinance 23-42, deleting declaring emergency in the title of the ordinance. Is there a second? Councilmember Spar.
I second that motion.
Thank you.
Madam President.
Thank you. There is a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. Any other motions this evening? Okay, we are now under resolutions and ordinances.
Resolution number 23-24, introduced by John Spar. Resolution approving mayor's appointment of Tracy Citizen Stark to serve an unexpired term on the Seneca County Board of Health from the effective date of this resolution until December 31st, 2024, and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. This is the third reading of Resolution 23-24. Councilmember Spar.
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to ask for immediate passage of Resolution 23-24.
Thank you. There's a motion for passage of Resolution 23-24, including an emergency. Is there a second? Councilmember Thacker.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll first vote on the emergency.
Councilmember Spar.
Yes.
Thacker.
Yes.
Wilkins.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Mansour.
Yes.
Perry.
Yes.
And Reesner.
Yes.
Emergency passes with a vote of 7-0. We'll now vote on the passage.
Councilmember Spar?
Yes.
Thacker?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Mansour?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
And Reesner.
Yes.
Resolution 23-24 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Ordinance number 23-42. I'm sorry, that's amended ordinance 23-42. Ordinance amending section 135.13 of Tiffin Codified Ordinances, updating the city's fixed asset policy by increasing the amount for a capital fixed asset from $2,500 to $5,000.
Thank you. This is the third reading of ordinance 23-42. Councilmember Reesner.
I move for passage of ordinance 23-42.
Apologies, amended ordinance 23.
Or amended ordinance.
No, that's my fault. Thank you. There is a motion for passage of amended ordinance 23-42. Is there a second? Councilmember Wilkins.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. There is a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, we will now vote on the passage.
Councilmember Spar?
Yes.
Thacker?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Mansour?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
And Reesner.
Yes.
Amended ordinance 23-42 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Ordinance number 23-50, introduced by Kevin Reesner. Ordinance amending 2023 Budget Ordinance 22-108 to appropriate a total of $136,603 into the CHIP revolving loan fund.
This is the first reading of ordinance 23-50. Councilmember Reesner.
I move for suspension of city council's three reading rule and immediate passage of ordinance 23-50.
Thank you. There is a motion for suspension of council's three reading rule and passage of ordinance 23-50. Is there a second? Councilmember Mansour. You'll second it, okay. Second. That's fine. There is a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Yes, Councilmember Jones.
Thank you, Madam President. This is the first reading of ordinance 23-50, and I got an explanation at the committee of the whole meeting. The general public has not heard the explanation of why we're suspending the three reading rule after the first reading. Could someone summarize that in layman's terms for the public and myself?
Finance Director.
Yes, this is for the Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program. It is a program that we are partnering with the City of Fostoria. They happen to be the administrators of the program. The City of Tiffin puts money towards that. We recently received our first invoice, and this particular project is from 2023 to 2025. We have money budgeted, however, the cost of the invoice that we received is higher than what we have budgeted. So we just need to get more in the budget so we can pay that invoice so that Fostoria can then pay the contractor.
Okay.
Thank you.
And they will get their money sooner than later by
Yes,
suspending
absolutely.
three reading rule. Thank you.
And can I ask a question, though, Kathy? The funds of this money, where does the source of the money that we are spending, where does this come from?
So we have that in our fund 236, and it comes from any payoffs that we have from mortgages that the city of Tiffin has liens on. And whenever those are paid off, that's what our revenue stream is.
So it's not funds that originated in the city of Tiffin. You know, we've received funds from outside the area for this program to help with housing improvements. And then as those loans get paid off, they get put into the fund and they revolve out again to be used by others. So I guess I just want to make it clear that we're not using tax dollars coming locally, income tax or real estate taxes. It is money that originated from outside the city, especially for the program.
Right, and that's correct. And we do have enough money in the fund. We just don't have enough in the budget. So the money is there. We just have to put it in the budget so we can pay the bill.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay, we will first vote on the suspension.
Councilmember Spar?
Yes.
Thacker?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Mansour?
Yes.
Perry?
Yes.
And Reesner.
Yes.
Suspension passes with a vote of 7-0. We'll now vote on the passage.
Councilmember Spar?
Yes.
Thacker?
Yes.
Wilkins?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Mansour?
Yes.
And Perry?
Yes.
And Reesner.
Yes.
Ordinance 23-50 passes with a vote of 7-0.
Ordinance number 23-51, introduced by Kevin Reesner. Ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance to enter into a discretionary investment management agreement for professional management of various city funds and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. This is the first reading of ordinance 23-51.
And that concludes the legislation.
Thank you. We are now under other business. Is there other business to be discussed this evening? You want to wait? You hear back from Matt?
Yeah, I didn't receive a message unless we want to just go with Monday and assume, but I'd rather not without having confirmation.
Okay. And then there was going to be a second.
I could do that one.
Okay.
Dan, are you okay with 6:15 or would you prefer 6:30 for that one?
I mean, I think 6:30 would be ample time, but
I think that's fine. I would like to announce a street sidewalk sewers committee meeting at 6:15 on, oh goodness, what date is that?
it'd be 6:30, right?
What did I say?
6:30, you said 15.
Oh, I'm sorry, 6:30, thank you.
August 21st.
On August 21st to discuss lights potentially being put on 3rd Avenue and Water Street. And any other business that comes before the committee.
So the other two, there were mayor's request for legislation 23, 36, and 37. Are you
I thought we were doing this with the site
waiting
visit.
on those? Okay.
Because we would, I
We
think we'll need a
Matt
lot
for
more
that
time.
also.
Okay.
Could we just schedule something and then if he can't, we can move it?
Yeah, I think that's, that's a good point. So let's go with Monday. Is that okay with you all?
Yep.
Okay. We also have another street sidewalk sewers committee meeting at 5:30 on August 14th, Monday, August 14th. And we will be meeting at the petition spots for petition 2023-01, petition 2023-02, petition 2023-03. And we will be discussing all of those petitions along with mayor's request for legislation 23-36 and mayor's request for legislation 23-37. So this would be at the corner of Walker and,
Kind of just goes back. I walked it today, so it's just back along, go.
What's
off
the
main
other?
walk. It's Walker Street and,
Is it Greenfield?
no,
It'd be Greenfield.
Walker and Main are parallel to each other, so.
right.
There's a little map of it.
Yeah, so.
I'm just trying to think how to describe it for the benefit of people.
It's where Walker Street dead ends into
Heidelberg Senior
Rock
Apartments.
Creek,
Okay,
approximately Rock Creek on the west side of Rock
Okay.
Creek.
we'll be meeting at Walker Street.
Just adding that. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Okay. Is there any other business to come before council this evening?
I have,
Councilmember Spar, yeah.
I have just a procedural question, something that I need clarified. On ordinance 2350, we suspended and passed it because we needed the money move the money into the budget right away. Why did that not have an emergency? Is it not
Wondered about that,
necessary? Or do we still have to wait the 30 days?
Yeah, the charter in, I think it's section 4.07A, it says that for the appropriation of funds is done immediately. It's a reason, that's why when all the amending the budget to appropriate funds, but based on that section, the appropriation then becomes immediate.
Okay.
But there are some ordinances where you see we're amending the budget, but we're doing other things, like we're transferring money around, we're creating a fund. There, you'll see I put in an emergency because it does more than just appropriate funds. And so you got to read the charter strictly. That's why sometimes it looks like it's just amending the budget, but it really does more.
Okay.
So you can watch that too.
Thank you.
Sure.
Good question. Any other business to come before council this evening? Yep.
Yes,
Oh, come on, we had a record
somewhat
going.
reluctant to bring this. I received an email from some gentleman, I can't think of his name, something about the weight limits on city streets, state highways could be changed from 80,000 pounds to 92,000 pounds. Did anyone else on city council get that memo, or was it targeted just to myself? And,
I didn't get it.
I got it.
okay.
I got that
That
email.
as well.
And do we, as a council, need to pursue that, or?
It seemed like it was on like a mass email
Yes.
almost. It was like,
Yeah,
it was from like a,
It's looking for support.
it was from out of state, it seemed
Yes.
like, so I don't know what it seemed
Okay.
like. It was like a,
Local.
wasn't local, seemed.
I'll forward a copy of it.
Yeah.
Any other business? I'll take a look at it. I don't have that email, so he's going to send it over to me. Okay, if there's nothing else this evening, we can adjourn. Thank you, guys.
Hi.